I'm Barb Shookneck, and I'm from the Chesterfield Lawn Bowling Club.
I'm Mike Bester. I'm from the Milton Lawn Bowling Club.
And Mike has grown up in Hanover here. He's a Hanover.
Yeah, I started playing in Hanover
youth.
for about the first 20, 25 years of my career.
Of lawn bowling, yeah. Chesley's not too far from Hanover. We're only about 20 minutes away, 15, depending how fast you drive. We don't have bad traffic around here. And the roads are pretty good. Go ahead.
Picking it up after 4 ends.
Right.
The
Kaufman team.
Kaufman team just picked up a big 5-ender to take the lead. So now they're starting the 5th end. They're going to look to change something here because they've lost the first 2 ends going this direction.
This is Katrina Carter that just rolled our jack, and Jill Calvert-Getz is going to center it. So the jack has to be a certain distance between the mat and the jack, and that distance is
21 meters.
21 meters, okay. They're aware of that, and if it's... See, now she's counting out. Did you see Katrina stepped out? Each stride is worth 3 feet. So you stride out and see how far is your mat ahead, and they will step out maybe from the hog line to the jack and see how far. And if they don't feel it's far enough, they'll call for the umpire to do a jack measure. I see Cindy's thinking it's fine. She's gone back because it's not her head. This is Jill's head, Kaufman's head, the head where the bowls are all coming into play around the jack. The jack being our target ball. Jack also around here we call the kitty or the cat. Now other people are saying, what's that? What's the cat? I'm like, well, that's the name of the jack. But not everybody in Ontario calls it that. Maybe not even in Canada.
No, I don't think so.
No.
There's Lori McLeod with another good one. She's had a good game so far to start.
Okay.
Katrina just looking to correct on the first one.
Karina got her bowls specially made with a sea turtle on them because Katrina's into swimming. She's a swim instructor. On the side. Now, Cindy, you saw doing a symbol there. She's showing Lori how far her bowl was from the cat so that Lori will know how to adjust her weight, whether she needed to be, 3 feet heavier or 2 feet heavier. And a very good adjustment. She's come in front of those.
Yeah, good spot behind matching because the jack can get moved back. So if it gets hit back now, it could get hit to Lori's bowl. It matches Katrina's too at the back.
Yeah, a match bowl. Could call it that.
So now Pat's just going to look to draw a close one.
Yeah. The jack most often moves back, as you were saying, but it has moved forward in very tight heads. And you've played those tight heads, Mike.
Yeah.
You've seen it jump forward.
Yeah, if it hits off a back one, it can rebound forward.
I've only seen it happen, I think, 17 times in 25 years of bowling, and it was never when I was bowling. I've watched you guys bowl tight heads, and it changes where the jack goes. So they're bowling in rinks, of course. We're on rink number 10, the ladies, which is very similar to curling. Now, she's drawn one in there. That was...
Carol McDonald?
Carol McDonald drew a red one in, just behind the jack, which is a very good placement.
That'll be shot. Midland will be lying 2 at the moment.
So Pat's going to probably come to that one if she can. No, she's going to come to the back. If she stays on, she's got the back spot maybe. We have something at a tee at the back of the rink called the respot. And when a jack goes out of play, it'll be respotted on the respot. Carol's going to draw another one. Very good, 2 in there. She's got back ones. Sandy Weatherall's up for Jill. In a game of 4s, you only get 2 bowls each. So you figure out whether your forehand's better or your backhand, or you sometimes
you want to pick one side and stick with it the whole way. Yeah.
Because you get to know the green on that side then.
Especially the leads and seconds, because there's not usually a whole lot of traffic that gets in the way. The vices and skips have
different shots. That's true.
Switch hands quite a bit.
Quite a bit more. Okay.
I think that was Pat's that she hit up, so it might have cut
Jill's
it down.
And Jill's showing 1. So maybe that shot. Nope. Cindy's showing 1. The hand on her head means 1, that she's holding 1. It's a way to tell the other end without shouting it out, how many they're holding. Hand signals are really important in lawn bowling because it's a long distance to holler at each other. And hand signals are seen better than being confused with talking. This is Betty Robitaille that just sent her pink one up. It looks like it's a guard, maybe?
Yeah, or I think she might have just dropped short. She was looking for a jack high bowl.
She wanted to come higher.
I think, just ended up a little short.
Okay.
Sandy's just going to look to take a little bit more green with this one. and draw into the jack or rest the shot red bowl right behind it.
Right. It's a draw game. You want to draw in, the bowls curl naturally where their weight is. She's taking out 2
Well
red
played. I
ones.
think she
Excellent.
she hit it far enough that it brought in Pat's bowl for shot. The short black one is now shot bowl.
Shot bowl. Shot bowl is your counter. Cindy's showing that she's down 1, so we know that Jill has 1 shot there.
Bet he'll just be looking to make an adjustment on the weight with this one, just to draw a shot.
Draw, come to the jack, yeah. It's a nice looking bowl, smoothly away. Just didn't come in, just a little wide, I guess.
No, better weight adjustment.
Yeah. Yes, then her first one, that's true. Now the players switch ends because their skips are going to come down and do their 2 bowls each. And all the other players will go up there, and it's Vice that stands in the head usually?
Usually, yeah. The teams can choose. Sometimes if the lead or the second has a better rapport with the skip, knows their game better, then they'll take over.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. As long as it's only one person, different teams have different preferences. Sometimes the whole team's in on the discussion, but it's something the teams have to have a discussion before they play and figure out what works best for them.
Right. So Sandy is there because Jill's going to get the first bowl to throw. Sandy is closest to the jack, so the other team stands back behind her, more out of the head. Give Jill's room to come in. You can't be in the head when a bowl's coming into your feet. You've got to step out of the way if there's something coming in. That's
Jill's coming in on a good line.
Good looking bowl. Sit right there. Look at that.
Yeah, shot itself. Great bowl by Jill.
Yep, and it's behind. It was a great line. Yep.
I think Cindy now just has to...
Oh, it's touched the jack. Now you see Sandy is bending down to spray it. So touchers get sprayed, 1 mark.
And that way, if it gets hit later on in the end into the ditch, it stays a live bowl.
Yep.
Or if it hits it and then goes in the ditch as it's been delivered, it's also a live bowl.
Only the thrown bowl that touches the jack can be chalked. Other bowls can touch the jack at any time. They're not going to be chalked unless it's the thrown bowl being delivered that's touching the jack.
I think Cindy with her first one's just going to look to draw a close second. If she finishes a little bit short and a little bit wide, it might give her a wing to use for her second bowl.
Right, to wing off of it, to take a wick off of it and come in. A wing.
Oh, it looks like she switched to the backhand, so I think she's going to look to promote the dark blue bowl just to the front
that might
left.
be the easiest thing to do, right?
Yeah, it could be at least for second. She
Oh,
played it well, just got the wrong side of it.
Okay.
Still 2 down though, so no
A little
damage.
heavy. Went to the back. Sandy's holding her foot there. I think she wants the bowl to rest there.
Yeah,
Jill's
she wants
gonna
Jill to play a position bowl just in case the jack does get hit. It looks like there's 2 Midland bowls over on that side.
So she wants to have one of the opposition in between, yeah, to rest.
Looks like a good call. The way it sits right now, it's going to be really tough for Cindy to get a shot. So there's no sense making the target bigger for her. Might as well just cover and take your 2 and then run for cover. If the jack gets hit over, then the worst they'll lose is 1.
Okay.
And not too bad there.
She didn't stay in front of them. She went a little further back, but she's in the area.
Cindy's going to go down to the head and have a look because there's about 21 meters or more between the mat and the jack. Yeah. It is difficult to see the distances between the jack and the bowl and different bowls.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's better to just go down to the head, especially when it changes, and take a look and just to get a clear picture in your mind of what it actually looks like, how much space you have.
Do you think Sandy's black bowl on the left there could be used as a wing?
It could, yeah.
Cindy could come off of it and come in?
Yeah, if she gets wide.
Okay. Or she could maybe just draw in. Do you think there's a draw there that she could draw up to the jack?
I think so, yeah. Especially since she played her first bowl on the backhand. It's an easier adjustment than switching hands to the other side.
Right. She did do backhand.
Yeah.
Yeah, backhand and forehand, similar to tennis that way. And long bowls, you just switch your bowl in your same hand to do backhand or forehand. So the weight will be going towards the jack. Always the weight towards the jack. So the weight is known by the little circle on your long bowl, and the large circle on the other side is non-weighted side. So we have a bias. Here we go. She is doing backhand.
She looks to be close. Is it just going to bend?
Oh, she got on the wrong side of that one.
I don't think it pushed it far enough for 3, but...
To be counting? Okay. We'll see what they find. She's picked up the mat down at this end. Cindy's picked it up and tossed it, meaning all the bowls are done being delivered.
So just one's out so far.
Now, quite often when one team is counting, the other team will take the shots out. So they're not touching their own to take out to count, you might say. It's a courtesy. I don't know if it's always followed.
I don't know if it's always followed, no.
No. It's not a rule.
it makes more sense for the team that's down to take him out, because otherwise the team that's counting has to ask the other team, can I take this one out? Can I take that one out?
Yeah,
Rather,
which one?
the
Which
team
one?
that's down can just start taking them out,
Right.
save a little bit of back and forth.
Right. I always think of it as if I'm counting, it's generous of me to let you take them out because I don't want to cheat and say, take this one when maybe it's not. You don't see it. If we don't both agree, we're going to measure.
Okay, so
Yeah, Sandy's saying
Kaufman scored 2.
2 there, yeah.
So after 5 ends of 12, it's 8-3 for Kaufman's team.
Mm-hmm. They're playing 12 ends, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, they'll play a full 12-end game. Games are different lengths, different places where you play, different tournaments sometimes have a different length.
That's right,
lengths.
yeah.
What's
most
the
I've seen
shortest
is-
you've seen or the longest you've seen?
Shortest I've seen is 5 end sets. The longest I've seen
5 end
is
sets.
21 ends.
Oh, the 21 ends.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that game would go on quite a while.
It could,
Because
yeah.
we're taking 2 hours to do 12 ends.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So Katrina's sending the jack up to Jill here. Jill's got to center that. You'll notice that they're standing on a foot mat at the far end. There's a large green sheet down there. It's called the ground sheet. They've been put down to protect the greens. The greens are a very short Australian bent grass. They can be mowed very short. The turf becomes soft with rain, and we had excess rain last night and yesterday, and the greens are more prone to damage. So with that protector ground sheet down, you tend not to have the divots if a bowl is dropped too heavy or dumped or driven into the ground. We're trying to protect the greens a bit there. The greenskeepers have a lot of work to do when things are damaged
Yeah, it takes 1 second to take a divot out, but it takes a long time to repair it.
to get the grass to grow back in that spot or whatever. So here we go.
Oh, good opening bowl by Katrina, just
She
behind the
did.
jack, and I believe she got a toucher.
Okay.
And then Carol followed with about a good opener for herself, about, looks like 2 to 3 feet behind.
Okay, is she going to draw here? Is she going to go behind and match that?
Looks like go behind and match. I think she changed her hands. I
Ah.
think she played the forehand with the first one.
Forehand, okay.
And then switched to the
backhand.
backhand.
So she's got a back bowl for them, which is good. They won't have to look for back bowl if they concentrate on their head then. Bringing it into count. So that was Lori, I think, that threw with it? No.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. She's just a little short and a little narrow. Okay. Was her forehand, I think. This is Pat Kaufman. Pat's giving us a nice roll up to the head here. Very
Yeah,
nice.
good bowl. Good second.
It is. It's just behind.
It's right behind. Yeah. No target.
No, it's true. It's not going to get winged off of in the front.
Cindy will be looking for Carol to just draw a close one in the head to give her
give
something
her-
to use later on.
Yeah, so you want to get the count going.
That's
Okay.
good.
It can be used as a wing, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the leads and
Okay.
seconds don't have to be shot after their bowls. They just need to build the head and make things easy for the vice and the skip.
You know more about this strategy than I do. I don't understand all of that, but that's good to hear about, Mike, because I have no idea. Strategy. So that's neat. So the lead and vice don't have to have shot necessarily.
Not necessarily, no.
But they can build the head by having some back bowls and having the respot.
right,
That helps out.
and it can make just make your shots easy. Leave your vice and skip high percentage shots, and leave the other team as low percentage shots. If you do that over a course of the game, you should come out ahead. You might
Okay.
you might lose an end here and there, but you got a better chance of scoring big
Scoring
ends
them,
and not
okay.
letting up any big ones.
Yes, that's what you want to do. You want to intercept. I know one time I bowled a lady from Palmerston, and she always had match bowl. Didn't matter where my bowl went, she'd always put hers just in front, closer to the cat than mine. And I just was always surprised by that, but we never took a big end off them
Right.
because she always had the match bowl in there. So Sandy's is a little short. She's getting a guard, I guess. It's in the center.
Yeah, it did finish in a good spot.
Now, Cindy's showing her.
She's showing. I think she's just looking to have Carol draw.
Come in,
yeah,
draw to it, maybe.
yeah, just draw. She's got that backing. She's got Pat's bowl that she can rest off, or if it bends, she can rest off the shot bowl.
Looks heavy to me. Gonna move something here.
Oh, just found the gap.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Moved a back one. So she now has a back one in the mix. I guess there's 3 of hers there. The red, pink, and blue are their teams.
Yes.
Okay. Got a wall at the back.
So it's something Jill's going to have to keep an eye on. She doesn't have to do anything yet because the teal bowl is right behind, so it's not going back right away. But if the teal one gets moved, then with the later one it could get back there. So
there's another blocker that Sandy's put in, I think. That's quite short out front there.
Yes, I think so.
A blocker or a guard to prevent the other team from coming into the jack is the hope.
We made her change her hand at least. So she's going to try to either catch the outside of the red one,
yes,
and push it towards it, or come in off of it.
Right.
With her shooter. Just missed, just slid back.
Bad luck, yeah. Starts to look really colorful with different colored bowls. Like
yes.
marbles down there.
Now the winning team will go to the Nationals, and at the Nationals they get stickers to put on their bowls. So Ontario's colors dark red, burgundy. Right. So that way any spectators or for the live streaming of the Nationals, they'll be able to tell
which team right away, which province it is. Okay. Good thing to know. For any spectators who haven't watched lawn bowls before, lawn bowls come in sets of 4 bowls. Because we're playing 4 on a team, we're only using 2 of those 4 bowls. Your other 2 stay in your case, out of play, out of sight.
So I think Jill's going to want to play the forehand and just try to draw another. I don't think there's any danger at the moment of her losing a big end. The shot that Cindy had Betty play, I don't think there's any defense against that. I think you have to leave it. And if they make it, they make it. But she's coming in on her backhand. Unlucky.
She's tipped the opposition in. So if she had 2, she has 1 now? I don't know if she had 2. I think she just had the 1 maybe, did she?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that. Unless we get our drones out here to look overhead, we just really don't see exact what's going on. OLBA has not invested into drones yet that I've heard about. So, something the future might look at. I understand they have overhead cameras in curling.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we just don't have them out here in lawn bowling on real grass. That was a nice ball. Yeah.
Yeah, just an update on the bronze medal game. Kay Johns is ahead 9-3 against Rebecca McQueen. I believe Kay's from Seaforth still. I know she used to be.
Clinton club,
sorry.
But she may bowl out of Seaforth now. I don't know that. Clinton was her home club at one time.
Okay.
District 4, regardless.
Yes, and Rebecca McQueen's from Sarnia.
Sarnia, yes.
Here comes Cindy with her first one.
Sneaking right by there. Oh.
Okay, so she made it better for her second one. She's got a bigger target, and it's open now. She's
got that black one out of the way, so she sort of snowplowed it, moved it out, and came in, which is very good for her.
So now Jill might just try to replace it.
She may. Sandy's going to direct her to come in. She wants to set right in front of the red one.
She switched to her forehand, just like Sandy asked her to.
She's going to come up and try and rest in front of that red one. She's going to come in
draw
front of the count.
What
Look
a
at this. Beauty.
Great shot.
It's a toucher. She's not chalking it. Because there's only 1 bowl left to come. It's not likely to go in the ditch.
So now it's hard to tell which way the jack's going to bounce. If she hits the orange one, it's going to bounce off the teal one, and it's hard to tell which way it's going to go.
Yeah.
Midland has 1 orange one out. Oh, no, sorry, that's Jill's out at the side.
Jill's orange, yeah, at the side.
And then it's pretty mixed, 2-1 on
Cindy's
the left side.
Come to look. Let's see what she can find.
Yeah, I think she's going to want to change something around. If the head stays the same, she's going to be at least 10-3 down. It's only halfway through the game, so there's still lots of time. But she's going to want to change something around, at least give herself a chance to get shot.
You look at percentages and things.
Yeah,
and you can tell that. Yeah, I don't do math, so I'm not good at that. But I know Cindy's going to want to have a count there somehow, at least to cut their count down, if she can do that, if she can't get the count herself. But at this point, she'd rather have herself counting, I'm sure, somehow figure that out.
Yeah, and I don't see there's any danger of her losing more than the 2 she's already down.
Ah,
Wherever it bounces,
whichever way
unless it
she's
goes,
hitting it from whichever hand on that orange one.
yeah, even if it goes forward to Sandy's 2 out front, it's still only 2. She's already down the 2. If
Okay.
it goes out of bounds and ends up on the tee, it's
Tee.
still only 2.
Oh, 2 here
So-
too. Oh, never saw that. Okay. True.
So might as well have a go at it.
Yeah, you got to have confidence in your shot you're going to make. So Cindy sees something she feels she can do. She's going to do it. Here we go. Coming
Looks
in.
close.
Oh,
It just
man.
missed.
Just when you know.
Great effort.
Definitely.
Looks like 2.
Are they hitting shoulders? Yeah, Sandy hit her shoulder twice. 2 up, and I believe Lori, or if that was Lori, or Carol, did 2 down. Lori, I think, was
So-
hitting her hip 2 down, so Cindy did not get those 2.
10-3 after 6.
Right, 6 hands completed, yeah.
So now the Kaufman team's in a good position. They're up more shots than there are ends left, so they can play a little bit defensive if they have to be. They can play to be 1 down, and it's not going to hurt them. Midland's going to be looking for a 2 or a 3 to get back in the game.
That's cool. Did you know that? I wouldn't know that. Okay. Mike knows the math. All right.
Except when you're playing 18 end games and you get up really early, really quick, and then you let up too quickly, and then 1 bad end, and then all of a sudden you don't have a big cushion anymore.
No. Wouldn't work in that situation.
So Katrina brought the mat up a little bit. When they're playing this direction, she's brought the mat up, looks to be about maybe 6 feet in front of the tee, and is playing short. The last end coming the other way, she left the mat back and played about the same distance, maybe a little bit longer.
Longer, okay. They weren't called on that, so that could have been worth a call for a jack measure, do you think?
It's close enough to look.
To look, maybe, but...
Even to change the momentum of the game, it might have
Yep,
wouldn't have hurt
yep.
to call the umpire and take a little
Because-
rest.
Yeah, it gives them a bit of a rest. It also puts it in the other person's head. Did I do it wrong?
Right.
Like a doubt there that can help in your favor.
And it is a very hot day out there. It's probably in
Oh.
the 40s with humidity.
Yes, and I don't see the trees moving much, so I'm thinking maybe there isn't a breeze right now, particularly. Oh, a little bit of wavell there. Okay.
And this is both teams' 3rd game of the day. We had rain yesterday, so we had to cut. We're supposed to play 3 yesterday, but only ended up playing 2. Had to
2.
play that 3rd one this morning.
We had a real rain delay, 3-hour rain delay. I've never seen that before, where they waited and put in that second game.
Good spot there by Carol.
Yes, she has the back one.
2 shots plus position.
Mm.
Pat's just going to look to draw one close. Good line. Weight looks pretty good too.
It does look very good. Just
Good
there.
first start. A little
Okay.
bit short,
Yeah.
but she can work with it.
I think that's what you call a promotable bowl. It could be moved up
Right,
with
yeah.
fair amount of accuracy.
Yeah.
It's not too far out. I think it was Bill Becker told me it was if anything's out beyond 3 feet, don't try hitting it in. You won't have accuracy. But 3 feet's about where you can move a bowl in to promote it if you come onto it.
That's right.
She's going to work off of that, or just push it over a bit.
So Pat's going to look to play the same bowl, maybe add a little bit of weight to try to roll hers over, push it up, or if she misses, she can match the dark blue one.
Yeah, she's got the forehand again. Look at that.
Okay, a little unlucky. She might be down shot, but
Might be.
it's still early. She's left her back end lots of bowls to work with.
Well, City says they're counting 1, so it's probably the red one. Carol's just going to draw, probably. We hope. She's
Yeah,
going to move
looks like it.
something. Nope, she went to the back. Okay. Sandy. Jill wants to try this hand and just draw.
Yeah, I think she's given her both options. She can play
Oh.
in off the red one or promote Pat's 2 black ones, and I think Sandy chose that
okay.
one. She's under. She can get to the red one that way.
Oh, she touched the
Just
cat.
touched it.
So she's a toucher. She's going to get a chalk mark. So the jack's a little more closer now to the right side of the rink, I guess.
That was good weight for what Sandy was trying to play.
Okay.
Betty's just going to try to get another one close. Try to beat the red one.
So she's drawing with a backhand and pushed it through.
It
Did
looks
it
like
go
she
through
got
far enough?
unlucky. Yeah, she
It
just came a
didn't go
little
far
narrow
enough,
and
okay.
pushed Pats up for shot. So I think
Oh, she's thinking she can't tell that. Maybe it's a measure. Yep. Hand signals across, your wrists across, and that's a measure. Sometimes for a hand measure, they do a hand signal where they're pulling as though they were pulling on the tape measure, and that means it needs a measure. They don't see it exactly enough. We're not allowed to put our feet in between the bowls and see which one's shot. So we eyeball it.
Yeah, it looks like Sandy's sticking to the forehand. Yeah, it looks like a little bit less weight. She's going to try to roll hers once or draw it. Looks like she's
I think
under
it
a little
went
bit.
narrow. No, not what she was after.
Good weight for what she wanted, but just missed the line inside.
The green changes, being out in the sunshine, and it's possible that it's changed a little bit from the line that she had picked in the dry time since she last threw that one.
It's possible, yeah.
It's
And the
not
jack
a lot,
got
but
moved
little.
over a little bit, so
It
she would
did
have had to
get
go a
moved
little
as
bit
well.
wider, which could change the weight as well if you're playing on fresh grass as opposed to the grass that's been played on.
Been played on, yeah. Oh, she's putting in a guard, I think. Front bowl. Oh yeah, skip's turn. Everybody rotates. Now, Mike, you've played singles. What's the highest number of singles you've seen played? Ends.
Number of ends?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. The highest game I've played to was first to 31.
31.
Yeah, they
So
play
that's
that in
quite high.
Australia.
So that could be 60 ends.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. That's quite long, yeah. Okay. How many hours would that take?
It'd take maybe 3 hours if it went the distance. There are a lot of low counting ends, ones and twos.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the speed of the player. Some players play faster than others.
Okay.
I can't remember how long my games took, but it'd be at least 2 hours.
Okay.
Could be as many as 3.
Okay. Now, in Australia, they don't have pushers or rakes.
No, you just kick them in at the
You
end.
kick them in, you roll them in with your feet. So our pusher can be called a rake or a pusher, and they use that at the end to scoop the bowls together. In Canada.
Jill's trying the same shot that Sandy
She's
tried.
got a forehand, yeah. She's coming. Oh, she didn't. Well,
Okay, went through the hole.
yeah, I went through everything there.
Probably good. She wouldn't want to clip that red one.
No.
Or the pink one, sorry.
Pinky, yeah, pinky purple, yeah.
Especially if they think they're shot.
And that she didn't know. We didn't have any changes since she did the measure sign, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so a measurement there.
Cindy's shot doesn't change from the shot that she asked Betty to play. She's going to play her backhand.
And come in.
Yeah, either roll the
Okay.
pink once or
come in
just
closer,
draw
cold, yeah. She's coming in with a backhand. It's not bending the way she wanted. No.
Looks
Not-
like her weight was good. So
not
she
the
just has
first
to
one.
adjust the line.
The
with
line,
next
yeah.
one.
When we talk about weight, we're talking about where the bowl ends up in relation to the jack. So if you were jack high, you're exactly in line with the jack. If you're a little bit short, you're in front of it. If you're a little bit long, you're going to be behind it. So we adjust our weight when rolling the bowls.
Well, Jill made the adjustment, but just went a little long. It's not a bad spot.
Yeah, because if this goes over,
Yeah, if Cindy
could be
gets
helpful.
unlucky and clips it, she could be another one down.
right.
Looks like she's in the area.
She's coming in to roll it. There we go.
Well played. Big
Yes,
shot there.
Yes, she's got it.
She needed to score there, and she did.
Yeah. And the mat's being picked up. At the end is over. Now you see Jill's getting the rake. Normally in tournament, especially in championship, the team who is not counting will do the pushing or raking, get the bowl scooped together. It's one way as a spectator watching, if you kind of want to know who got that end. The one who's pushing, okay, the other team must have been counting.
Yeah, and that way the lead can pick up the mat and set it down, keep the flow of the game going.
Begin setting up, yeah.
Because they are time limited 2 hours.
The 2 hours.
So a little bit of time, like a few seconds here and there, can add up over the course of the game. You don't want to waste your time doing that sort of thing when you could get in a situation where you really need to discuss a shot. You've got a couple options. You want to spend your time doing that.
Yeah. Sandy's doing the measurement this time because Cindy's counting, I think. If they find the measurement hard, they will call for an umpire, but I see she's got her one shot, and they're going to go with that. So the scoreboard ladies, the flippers, are going to flip up the next number for Cindy's side, Higgins' side, and they've already changed the ends, I think. That 7 ends are played. Now that's universal, is it? That the scoreboard will show the ends played, not the end that we're actually in?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, I didn't know that, so it's maybe a rule, for all I know. Out there. Yep, they're bringing the ground sheet out.
So see what they try to do. If they try to change something up with the mat or the jack. Pat's team, the Kaufman team, scored every end playing this direction so far. So they're going to want to think about doing something different. They've been playing fairly short. They might want to think about going long. Just to change it up, change the lines, see if they can find something that's working better for them.
For them, yeah, because they don't want to play into the other team's hand.
That looks like what Carol did, or Lori did.
Lori's got a long jack.
It's fairly close to the tee, so it's almost about the maximum length they can play.
And Cindy's going to get it centered here. The jack's always centered before the umpire's called over to do a measure anyway, but they won't certainly need a measure in a long jack like this.
So we'll see what happens this end. This could be a big turning point in the game. After this, there's only 4 ends left. So they're trying something different.
True.
So
yeah. See how well her draw is here.
It's off to a good start.
Excellent. She's right there.
Maybe about a foot in front, slightly to the side. Very good start.
So now the pressure's on the other team to come closer. Katrina's giving it on a forehand.
Oh, great answer.
It went through, but she's got a back one.
Yeah, no harm there.
No. It's still Higgins' count. She threw her first one was forehand? Her second one
that's
forehand?
forehand, yeah.
Okay.
Very rarely do you see the leads change hands.
Change hands, okay.
Okay, she's played 2 good ones. Lying 2 with 1 back one.
Yep, she's laying 2 now. Katrina has another forehand, okay. Just a smidgen short.
Carol's following Lori's lead and playing the forehand as well. Just looking to draw.
She's more
dropped a little bit
guard,
short, but yeah, it could have some nuisance value there.
It could, because it's really close to inline, I think. To be a good card, yeah.
Pat looks like she's playing her backhand. She's
Yeah,
playing a little bit of weight.
She want to push Katrina's in, maybe? No.
Oh, got unlucky there. There's not
yes,
much room for the
nothing.
bowl to go through, but she found the gap.
The heavier weight we throw a bowl, the straighter it will go. It almost straightens out that bias.
Yeah, it doesn't give the bias a chance to take effect.
So that wasn't particularly a runner that she sent. It was overdrive.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
There's another one.
Here's one in.
Well, Pat can play the same bowl now and get a result. That gap's not there anymore.
That's true.
So a bit unlucky for
Here she is, backhand.
Carol to do that. It's neighborhood.
Yep,
well
she's
played.
moved it out and she's staying for shot, maybe? I think maybe.
Yeah.
Can't tell for sure.
No worse than one.
Than it was.
Of it.
Yeah, that's true. She's not seeing it, so she's doing the crossed arm again. Cindy's showing that it could be a measure there. And she'd like... Is this Carol or Betty? Betty?
This is Betty.
Betty to come in between the black and the jack?
Yeah, just draw it. Either roll the black one through and stay for 3, or just draw the jack, trail it to the dark blue one.
Oh, unlucky hit there. Just a bit narrow, I guess.
I think Sandy can play the same sort of shot Pat played with just a little bit less weight. I don't think she needs to be through the head anymore. Just try to promote Katrina's teal one.
That seafoam green type one. Teal one is promotable. Could be rolled a couple rolls in and it'd be shot. Here comes Sandy.
Good weight.
She's got draw cold.
Great
Beauty.
bowl.
There she is. Beauty.
Now Betty can either follow her in, catch the outside. The jack should move over. They've got the outnumbered back bowls 2-1. They've got the dark blue and the red one, compared to the one teal one. But it looks like she's just dropping short.
Oh. Yep, just didn't quite get the weight.
Sandy's going to probably play the same shot.
And she could come in for another one, yeah. Oh. She's asking here, Skip, what do you want me to do?
She just played a perfect shot, so unless something's really changed, there's probably better off just repeating while the muscle memory's fresh in her mind. She hit the red one up, but no danger.
No danger, okay.
Still hold one in the measure. I think that's forced Cindy onto her backhand.
Oh. Didn't think of that.
Yeah, play a little bit of weight, try to find Sandy's bowl and push it out and stay for one or two, or a little bit of jack movement to try to bring in some of their back bowls.
Right, because there is some back bowls there. Okay. That's something about this game. You want to draw close to the jack. You don't want to kick the jack around and hit it every time, bounce it all over the place, because the name of the game really is a draw.
Right, yeah. It doesn't matter if you hit it, but don't stay near it. You got to stay near it.
Yeah, you want to stay with it somehow. Earlier, you were telling me about a trail shot, and I hadn't thought about that. The trail shot takes the jack and stays with it.
It stays with it, yeah.
Trails it, yeah. The game started out with trial ends. We didn't get to see them, I think, on the tape. The trial ends are when the bowlers each get to throw their two bowls both directions, both teams. They get to figure out the green as best they can. Some players will work on their weight, but I particularly like to work on the green and find out what that far boundary is going to do.
That's right, yeah. And some players use all 8 bowls of their team together. They'll have the lead just draw to the center, and then the second maybe play a weighted shot just to see if it runs out or backs up or swings. And then maybe the vice and skip take turns drawing to the boundary to see what it does.
Okay.
Some might, if the jack's short, they might try to draw long just because they plan on playing a long end when they get the jack during the game.
Okay.
So lots of different things to test out.
That's neat that the team can work together and tell each one what they're going to throw in those trial bowls, so they can figure that green out all together.
Right. And reading the green's part of the game, but at the same time, you don't want the first 2 ends to be a guessing game. You want the players to at least have an idea of how the green's going to behave so that they can play the shots that they know they can play, rather than just guessing what the green's going to do.
Okay, I think Jill sent up a guard there. It's way out front. Now whether Cindy can come in there at all, or snowplow, or
I'm
she's
not
got
sure.
2 shots or just 1 shot left.
She's just got 1 left.
1 left, okay.
I'm not sure it's going to bend enough on the backhand to take out the bowl, so she might have to either come up inside of the teal bowl and wick onto it.
Okay.
Or just dead draw it. I wouldn't favor dead drawing it. That's a little bit
she wants
too
a
low
wick.
percentage.
Oh,
right there, just missed it.
Found the hole and went right through everything.
So Jill's got a free draw for 2 or 3. There's no real danger as long as she keeps it wide. There's no risk of hitting the red one in.
Would she decide to not throw it? She's counting. She's up in the score. She could say, "Oh, I'm going to eat it."
She could, but I think it's fairly safe. I don't think there's any risk of. She'd have to miss her line and weight by quite a bit to
mess up anything.
to hit the. And the only way it can be messed up is if she hits that red one in.
Okay.
And she'd have to really miss bad to do that.
Okay.
So
all right.
I think it's definitely worth playing. Play the safe shot. If you're going to miss wide. Make sure you don't overthrow it.
Okay. I noticed when I spoke to someone earlier today about eating the bowl, they didn't know what I was talking about. And I said it means they don't have to throw their last shot if they're counting, and it's their turn to throw. And she has chosen that.
She has decided not to play it.
This is a women's thing, I think, Mike. She decided she's going to keep the score they have. She knows they're counting. Now, I don't know how many they're counting, but they're taking their mats away, and they will roll this bowl up doing nothing.
I think it was 4, or I think it was 2, sorry.
It could be. I wasn't watching for that. I just want to mention that now Jill's just throwing her bowl up doing nothing. I've heard it said that people leaving their mats there, and they say, don't count it, I'm just throwing it away, but they're throwing somewhere where they can read the green.
Yes, especially if it's early in the game.
Okay.
They'll try to. It'll be like a bonus trial bowl, like we
Yeah,
just talked about.
And nobody knows it.
Right.
Because they've thrown it away, it's not going to count. But they know what they're doing with it. Now, Jill didn't take that chance or do anything with that.
No, I think
So-
it's late enough in the game that she doesn't have
Doesn't
to.
have
Like,
to.
This is the last game of the day, so she's never going to play on this green
Green
again.
again,
So
okay.
it's late enough that she can just count it. And
Okay. I thought it's a woman's thing. I don't care. We're up one, take it. I don't need to worry where that next bowl goes. We're ready to go now. That last bowl, where it was going to go. But here we go. Katrina's giving us the jack. And it looks like a middle length, or would you say?
yeah, it looks a little bit longer. She's got the mat up again, about the same amount, maybe
Okay.
between 6 to 8 feet.
Okay.
And it looks like the jack's a little bit longer than it had been.
Yes, I'm going to say it's a bit longer.
And she's
There
got
we
a
go.
good opener.
She is. She's right behind the jack. She's within a mat's length of it anyway, from what I can tell from here. I wouldn't say it's 6 inches, but it's probably a foot and a half
Yeah, I
or
would think so.
something. Here we go. She's coming up. She's
Lori with a
going to
good
stop right
response.
there. Very good. Yes, she's right beside the jack.
Lori's played a very good game so far, but Pat's come along a few times, even before we started filming. When
She's
Lori
very
was
heavy. She
lying.
wanted it.
Yeah,
She's playing takeout, I think, there with that
yeah,
weight.
a little bit heavier than she wanted to be. I think she wanted to keep her bowl on the green.
Yes, she would have wished. I think she wanted to push the blue one through, is what, because she had weight, she wanted it, but
Yeah.
it didn't work that way. Didn't catch the bowl at all. So she's in the ditch, and when she's in the ditch, not touched, she's not a toucher. She's dead, and they set her out.
Yeah, that's right. A little bit
Okay.
short for Lori on this one.
I think she's got her guard in there already. She's got a shot, and she's going to hang on to it. At this point in the game, it would be better for them to rack up more points, though.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're going to want to score 8 down with 4 to go. They're going to want to score at least 2 this end.
At least, yeah. Now Pat's got a backhand. Pat's going to try and...
So she played
She's
it
a bit narrow.
It's going to
So-
end up in a good spot, though.
Sometimes they call it coming in the back door. If it would have just come narrow and stayed near the jack.
That's right,
But
yeah. You get that on a
roll
narrow
past.
green where the bias doesn't take over, and
Okay.
you can come underneath a bowl and it stays in for shot. It just doesn't finish like they call
Underneath a bowl is a new term. Tell me about underneath a bowl, Mike.
it. Narrow, like if you wanted to come around it. Sort of the opposite of going around a bowl. It's coming underneath it.
Coming underneath
So yeah,
it.
being too
so,
narrow.
So you're inside of it? Or
Yeah,
you're, and
inside
that's
it.
underneath it?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't necessarily touch it, though?
No, no.
Okay. This is good to know. I guess I've heard the term, but didn't understand what it meant.
I think it's more of an Australian term. I think that's
Oh.
where I picked that up.
Maybe so. Now, Pat set a backhand in there, and she's bounced off of the front one.
So Carol trailed the jack through with her first one. But there's still only one because of Katrina's opener.
is in there.
But I think
holding
she's just
the
going to play the same bowl.
She's got a forehand coming in here now.
Well played. Probably lying at least 2.
Do you think it's got a second one in there?
I think so.
I don't think so, but I don't know. I can't tell.
Oh,
Just
just
laying
one.
one down, yeah. So there is strategy to the game, and I noticed when I spoke with another older member, he said he came to Canada and he, as retired, picked up lawn bowling. He said because it's not only active for seniors and in the sunshine, but it's strategy and keeping the mind active, and he saw that as a really good thing to do. And I said, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Promote our sport as keeping us active mentally. So when you're talking about math, you already know this mental part more than I do. So. She's coming right in. There's an opening there.
Yeah, just following the rest of her teammates.
Okay.
So now Sandy's just going to want to get another one close. They only have one bowl in the head, and that's the teal one at the back. If that one goes, then they're down
A number.
4. Yeah,
a number of
and
shots.
anything but losing a number at this end is good for them.
Yep, she suggested a backhand, and she's giving it.
It's fairly close. Just
Oh,
a
it's
little
not
bit
turning.
hot, a little bit heavy.
Maybe it'll give them the respot then. Oh, it didn't go that far back, though. Okay.
But he's going to play the same bowl. Just add a little bit of weight, try to get into the count.
Jack is behind the red bull on the left.
That's
correct?
right, yes.
Yeah. I'm not seeing it from here at all, and sometimes when we don't see the jack, they'll put their foot up to show where it is. They're no longer allowed to stand over it with a towel and show where the jack is, because that's illegal. But
and there's a tendency for the bowler when they can't see the jack because it's behind a bowl to overthrow it, throw it too heavy.
Deep.
So
yeah, that's true. You don't see it.
So the skip sort of stands there to try to give them a bigger target, something that they can see.
That they might show their
for.
foot there. That's the length to go. Yes, I've seen that done. Okay, skips are gonna. Now Cindy's staying down there because she's gonna watch the change because Jill gets the first bowl there. And Cindy wants to know how it's going to change that head before Cindy has to throw. And they're allowed to do that.
That's correct.
Skip staying at opposite ends, watching them come in.
I think Jill's going to play the same shot that she asked Sandy to play. Backhand.
And try and
try
move on to that red one to shoot it back to Sandy's bowl?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it looks like she's lining up on the forehand. Which is fine too. She's wants
got
another one.
Different idea.
Take away the shot that the Midland team's been playing.
I guess, eh? Oh, she hit Sandy's. I don't think that changed anything, basically. Did it?
No, I don't think so.
I think the shots are still the same there.
They only have the two in the head that are close together, but I don't see how Cindy can get rid of them to score a bunch. So I think Cindy's just going to have to draw.
Draw. Mm. I don't know if we can see it on the camera or not, how they hold their bowl. There's a couple of different bowl grips, whether you do the claw, which is really spread out, or whether you do like a cup. I think most women are doing a claw, probably.
She's close with this.
She's come up with second, I'll bet. When a bowl has stopped, that now becomes the opposition's head. So that you don't be telling them any more signals or talking to your own team. It's
an etiquette thing, so that both teams aren't trying to tell their teammates something at the same time, and then nobody can hear anything.
True. But the mat belongs to the opposition when your bowl has stopped rolling, when it's come to rest. Okay, she's drawing up there. She might be.
Good try.
Yeah, she might be second shot for all we can tell. Maybe not. She's got one.
It's just the one.
Yeah. She wants her to draw in.
Yeah, if she can't make a play on those two back ones, she's going to have to draw for two. It doesn't look like there's a play to get those two out.
See how her weight goes. It's bending over, rolling in gently.
Yeah,
She's clapping.
That should be in.
Should be second then. Quite possible. Now we see the jack.
It's two out for sure.
Two, yeah. There we go. Two for the Higgins team. Yep, they're bringing the ground sheet back, and Katrina's getting all the bowls right together there, and they always park the bowls to the right of the mat when you're facing down, so that when you step off a mat, you'll know whereabouts they are, that you're not going to be confused and step into the bowls and trip and fall. So that's I don't know if it's a rule or an etiquette, but it's an understanding.
Yeah.
That we want to first have safety.
Yeah, players can sometimes get excited, especially if it's an important shot, and body language takes over, and they start walking backwards and not paying attention to what's behind them, and
next thing
could trip over it.
Yeah. So it's good to have them in a group to the one side of the mat, and it's behind the mat. And then when other players are coming up to pick up a bowl, they're not in your line of vision either to distract you, because once you own the mat, you don't want to be distracted when you're getting ready to deliver.
That's right, yes.
Distraction is something I didn't see a lot happening this weekend. I know some people are very aware of bowlers at the far end or spectators at the far end walking across behind the greens. And if you wait until they are either have already rolled the bowl or wait for them to roll it and not walk across their line of vision, then it's politeness to the bowlers.
That's right, because some players use a mark on the back ditch board as their line and their
Right.
target. So if they're using that as a line and someone's walking behind, it'll distract them when they're
The
trying
same
to
as
deliver.
if I'm not getting the line on the ditch board, I might pick the fence post, something that's not going to move. It won't be the chair leg or the scoreboard leg necessarily, but it would be something that's not going to move, like the tree or the fence post or beyond, so that you can throw better, roll better when you have your line. You
Right.
want to reach your arm out towards that line to roll your bowl. Okay, what do we have down here, Mike?
Lori's played 2 good opening ones. Katrina's in with her second one, just a little bit short.
Short. Okay,
So
it was a good
it
line
looks like 2 for Midland.
at the moment, yeah. This is a quite long end again. That's what they chose the last time coming this way, wasn't it? To do it longer.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, because it works better in their favor, I think.
That's right, yeah. They ended up losing a 2 that end, but they played an overall better end.
Better end, yeah.
So I think they're going to try it again.
Okay.
Pat's playing her backhand. She's looking to draw. Looks like she's a little bit
It's a
through.
little heavy. Maybe
Good spot,
she'll
though.
have the back spot there. They didn't have a bowl back there, did they?
No.
So that's good to have a placement bowl. Position bowl, do you call it? Or
Yeah, position
Okay.
ball.
that it could be a receiver, because if the jack moves this way, I kind of call that the insurance policy, that you've got that covered. She's going to
good
bring
one
the
here for
cat.
Carol.
Yep, beauty. She's got it. She's a chalker. You want
Line-
to... Go
Line
ahead.
3.
Yeah.
So now Pat's just want to get a close second. Give him the scoreboard. They're down 3 at the moment, but there's lots of room between the jack and second shot. So she just want to get a second shot, limit the damage, and then play for the bowl later. And that's exactly what she's done.
There,
Great
yeah.
bowl for Pat.
She did.
Ended
Okay.
up in a good spot too. Now all they have to do is touch that red one, and the jack's going to go back to the 2 black ones.
That's another thing I was thinking about. When you touch the jack, or touch the bowl and it's touching the jack, it doesn't take much for the jack to shoot off.
That's right.
You don't need much weight. But if you're moving a bowl, you need more weight. Now, it was Bill Betker again that talked about the 3-1 ratio, where if you want to promote the bowl 1 foot, you have 3 feet more weight.
That's
to move
right.
it 1 foot up. And I didn't understand that. I said, well, how can you throw 3 feet weight? He says, because you know where your bowl is going to stop. And that's how you know what weight you're throwing. And I'm like, oh. So he really had it down to a fine science. Bill Betker's one of our famous Ontario
That's right.
lawn
yes,
bowlers.
yeah.
Yep. Canadian and probably world.
World medalist,
Medalist
for
as
sure.
well.
I think, yeah, at least a silver medal and possibly a bronze as well.
Okay.
At least 1 bronze. I
Okay.
think maybe 2. Yeah, representing Canada many, many times.
Yeah, he did a player development camp here in Hanover. I learned a lot from it. Here comes Sandy. She's coming in for another second. She took a wick off of that one.
Yeah, she had really good weight for the shot she was playing. No danger of hitting the blue one in for another shot.
No, right.
It's another one in the head. They might be 2 down, but there's lots of room and lots there for her to use. She can use her own one on the next one.
Okay, she's doing a forehand, Betty. And I think Cindy wants her to park it there, but it's going through. Oh, she threw a fair amount of weight. It stayed on the green. It did not drop in the ditch. So there you go.
I think Sandy's going to want to play the same bowl as her last. There is a gap that her bowl can roll through. If she finds it, it's just unlucky. There's lots of good things that can happen with playing that same weight on the backhand.
Mm. Men like to do repeat bowls. You've
Yeah,
got
you've got that muscle memory.
There.
You've just played it,
Just
so
played
yeah,
repeat it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
easier to repeat it than to
Change
try
up.
something new. Guess what the line is on the other side.
Well, they've changed
She did
up.
switch hands, but she's played it well.
This is our women thing again. We like to switch up. We really think it's different between men and women bowling, honest to be. Yeah. Because I often want to change hands. My husband doesn't want me to change. He wants me to stick with that. Repeat. Put in the second one. Put in the third one. And I'm like, I want to bowl this one. No, he wants another one in there. I remember early in bowling, I couldn't do it. Had it in my head that I couldn't do it. And once you get it that you could do it, and then it's like, oh, I can do this. I can put a second one identical to that first one. But when he asked for the third one, it was like, I got another hurdle to, can I do a third one? And that for me was mentally challenging to me because I didn't see myself as capable of that. I didn't have the confidence.
Okay.
And after bowling, a number of years, here's my husband a lot of times, he helped me build up that you can do that 2 times, 3 times, sure, put it in again, lay it in again.
And it's a good drill when you're practicing too, to just try to repeat the same bowl over and over again, because then you know you've got the feel for the weight, you know you're throwing the bowl well, the mechanics of your delivery are right, and when your mechanics are right, then that's when everything starts coming together as far as getting the feel for the weight, the line.
Okay.
So
that's a good thing to know.
Really good practice drill. Actually, anytime I practice, that's the first thing I do is just do I don't even use a jack. I just take my bowls, throw the first one, and just try to repeat.
Without a jack?
Yeah.
So where are you putting your first bowl when you're practicing then?
Just natural length.
So
whatever.
Natural.
Don't even think about the weight. Just throw it and then try to repeat it.
Okay. And are you picking where you want it to be, center or offside, or
ideally centered?
Ideally centered.
But weight's more important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that if it ended up a little to the side, you're going to make the second one do the same thing.
Yeah.
Be over there.
Yeah. Just try to repeat.
Okay.
But concentrating on the weight.
Weight then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Here comes Jill with a little bit of weight.
Jill's got a bit of weight. She'd like to get that shot. And she's bang on it.
Oh, great
She's got
ball.
the shot.
Stayed
Beauty.
for 2.
Yep, she's a chalker. Quite often they'll chalk them on 2 sides of the bowl when they get this close to the ditch, because when a bowl rolls in the ditch you wouldn't see one chalk mark, maybe if it was on top of it, and then somebody inadvertently takes it out thinking it's a non-toucher when it really is a chalker, a toucher. I believe in the Manora, when we were doing the singles there, the championship, we were told as markers we had to chalk them on 2 sides.
Okay.
That was the rule that we needed to follow by. It's not a bad one. The chalk just rubs off easily.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see on the camera the ditches, but there's sand in the ditch for one reason, so that the bowls don't get scratched if they go in the ditch, but also if a bowl does get picked up or gets moved while it's live in the ditch, then the mark's there. It can easily be replaced.
Yes. Yes, you can finger mark it around the bowl or the jack sometimes, and then it can get replaced. I always tell my team, don't be putting your hand out and stop that bowl. I want it to fall in the ditch because I don't want you to get injured.
That's
right.
You know,
smash your finger against the bowl. That's not nice. The next one coming in, it's going to smash you. I don't want that.
Jill's line 2 at least.
Yes.
I think they're discussing whether or not she wants to play it again, because this is the last bowl. I think she's going to play it. Yeah,
she's telling me she's got both that she can promote. Bring up Sandy's bowls closer if she wants, or wick off them.
She might even be lying.
Do for a draw.
Sorry, Barb. She might even be lying 3 here if that teal one beats the pink one.
If it beats the pink, yeah. Okay, Jill's just not going to let that worry about it.
Safeness.
Yep. Oh, yeah, the safeness. Okay. Yep, they haul the ground sheet out of the way.
3, that is 3. The teal one was
3, they got 3. Isn't that remarkable?
So 15-6 with 2 ends to play. So
Adding up.
Midland does have to score this end, otherwise the game will be over.
In no time.
Because there's only 8 bowls, the most you can get is 8. So
will they be able to stop sooner if it's
They will, yes, because it's
impossible?
knockout now.
Okay, elimination.
In the round robin stages, all ends were played just in case there was a tie, which there was. So shot differential came into play in a few instances, but this is the final. It's knockout. So once a team's got it out of reach, then
the other
game
team
can end.
Can concede. Yeah. Okay. That looks like her typical length, doesn't it?
Yep.
He has her mat out that far, and
they might want to challenge this one. It looks a little bit shorter, but it doesn't look like they're going
nobody's jumping at it. Sometimes if a team is really down low, they'll bring their mat right up to the hog line, and that's legal. And you got to have your jack right on the tee then, or between the tee and the ditch, so it can get set on the tee. And that sometimes upsets the other team when they're not ready for that kind of a change up.
That's right.
The women aren't doing that. They're not maybe as competitive as the men in my mind, but she's got a backer. Okay.
So now they'll be looking to score, I would say, at least 4 to give themselves a realistic chance. They need to score 1 to stay in the game, but eights are pretty rare, especially in a final when 8 difference going home. The other team's going to play defensive and make sure they don't give it up. So I'd say Midland's going to want to score at least 4 this end, probably 5.
Mm-hmm. Let's hope they tighten up there.
right
Lori's
bowls.
got it. Yes, that was beautiful. She got 2 tied up there.
Yeah, she's played a real solid game, Lori has.
Ah, Pat just missed. Just a little to the back.
At this stage, Midland's just going to keep piling them in. If Pat takes it back for 4, then it doesn't really matter. They just got to keep piling them in and hope for misses.
Mm. She's drawing. They're coming to the black.
Yeah, looks to be good line and
A
weight.
draw.
Yeah, well played.
Just right in there. They've got 3 at the moment.
Better weight from Pat.
Yes. They still have 3, I'll bet.
Yeah.
But she's at least in the picture. Here comes Carol. She's going to do a forehand, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, same as her last.
Okay.
Maybe just take a little bit of weight off.
It was a slight bit narrower because it came that side of the jack.
I think Sandy's going to want to play the backhand, play it wide, intentionally wide, and just try to rest on one of those back ones. Cut them all out of the head.
Yeah, she does want her to come in that side, and she wants her to rest right there. You're a mind reader. I didn't think she got wide enough.
A little
did
bit
she?
narrow, but
Yeah.
she's got the weight to hold
Oh,
it up.
she
She's
got
going
to
to
pick
end up a
one out.
shot.
Look
Well
at that.
played.
Pick it out. They're likely to want to bring the jack over to them.
Yeah, I think so. They can
Beforehand.
land Sandy's last bowl and push it through and stay for 4, but I think that leaves it too wide open
Okay.
for Jill and Sandy. They'll definitely get more in between. So I think the
Hmm.
best way is to trail the jack over
Trail
and
the
try
jack.
to land 4 really close.
See if they can bring that jack with them. Here's Betty Robitaille. She's got
She's
Sandy.
got the bull, so she's lying 4
Yeah,
again.
4 is there, and it's open. They're not thinking the strategy you are.
No. Well, even though it's open, 4 down is still a lot of pressure.
Anything in front of them. I see Jill motioning. Just park anything in front of any of theirs, it sounds like.
Yeah, just something
So that-
close at this
yep,
stage.
Yep, so that wherever the jack goes, they're going to cut them down, I think. She doesn't have to draw a shot, but if she just comes to the rest on those back bowls.
Looks like good weight out of her hand.
But it's
Just
a little
on the wide
wide.
side.
It's not coming in there. It didn't bend where we expected it to. Okay, so they're laying 4.
Betty's going to have to make a little adjustment because
What do
last
you-
time she played a bowl through, so she's
Through.
going to have to take a little bit of weight off just
so
to
she
draw.
can draw? You think a draw shot's what they're
Yeah,
after?
for sure, yeah.
Okay.
Now that Sandy's bowl's out of the head.
Yes. Now it got narrow on her. And it's too light.
Yeah.
Ah. And we swap the ends out. I've spoke to a number of women today asking them, how did they get started in lawn bowls? And they were saying, oh, their husband, he was bowling first. I wanted to see him more, so I had to join bowls, the one lady said. Another one said he dragged me into it, and I love it. And I think she's loving it more and more. And it's like, oh, okay. So oftentimes women come in because their husbands are. There's a few men who've come in because the women were. One of the clubs in Ontario were telling me the woman was asked to be the treasurer, and she wasn't a bowler,
Okay.
but she had those skills, and she volunteered to do that, join the club, and then she said, if I have to join the club, you have to join the club, and she got her husband to join. Of course, he's bowling. He's been in competitive bowling ever since.
Great shot by Jill.
Jill did the shot that she had asked Sandy to do, right? To come
Just
in
on the
against-
forehand.
just on the
She asked
forehand.
Sandy on the backhand, and then she
Backhand,
played the
okay.
forehand.
She played the forehand.
So it worked. I think there's less backing on the forehand, but she made it. That was a game saver right there.
Can Cindy get 3 or 4 out of this? Because I would think Jill's is counting now.
Yeah, she either has to push Jill's through or trail the jack to her group. Both are fairly low percentage shots. I think pushing Jill's through is probably the easier of the two.
Oh, okay.
But if she misses, her shooter's not going to end up very close.
Right.
That one won't end up counting.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
So I think the most I see for Midland right now is 4, maybe 5 if they make 2 perfect shots.
She's drawing.
It's fairly close.
Right there. Yep, touched it and came right in. But it didn't bring the jack much closer, it just rubbed it. So she's still a touch of it.
Jill's just looking for another one close. Just try to limit the
So
limit
probably
the damage.
Cindy's is counting. Cindy's a shot likely.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
one.
Probably one, okay. She did a forehand. Looks wide to me. Is it going to curl at the end? It does. It starts coming.
And it's running well. A little bit short, but
That's just like lawn bowls. They each set of 4 bowls has a different type of curve. Different companies make different curves on them. Some have a banana curl, some have a fish hook. Do you know some other names of those curves?
profile, I think, is the more the
Profile?
technical term. Yeah.
Okay. Some are very narrow bias where they don't curl hardly at all. They run almost straight.
Yeah, they use those more in the southern hemisphere where the
Summer-
greens are
yep.
lightning fast.
Lightning fast.
I wouldn't tend
That's
to
a
use
lovely
them.
bowl
here.
coming in.
Yeah,
got
she's
that.
made at least
Beautiful.
2.
Yep.
The game continues at least.
There we go. She's picking up the mat.
Did she move that orange one enough for more?
1, 2. Now what do they have? Start looking all around. See if they can find a third. She's got a third. Now they're still looking. Is there a fourth? Interesting. 3. Yep. There we go.
So 6 shots difference going home.
Going home. Ah, the final end. Yes,
So
11 played. We're going to be in the 12th, the last end.
So Midland's going to have a discussion where they want the mat and where they want the jack. That'll give them the best chance. They're going to want to group their bowls close. They're not going to want any short bowls because then there's no chance of counting.
Okay.
So they're going to be at least in the head, if not behind. And then Jill's just going to want her teammates to match the bowls. Don't give Midland a chance to score a big one.
That is such wise instruction. Don't know that the women are thinking that, but that is so, so good to hear. How many championships have you done in your life?
That I've played in,
Yeah.
I would say probably
Did you do
30. I would say at
30?
least once a year.
Once a
So
year,
between
okay.
probably 30 and 35.
30,
probably.
35 championships? Okay.
Yeah.
Now you've done nationals how many times?
I think 6.
6
if
that
I
you've been
remember
there?
right. Or
Yeah.
maybe 7.
7,
Maybe
yeah,
7,
yeah, you've been there. Now you talked about bowling in Australia,
Yes.
but that probably wasn't because you won something in Canada, had to go there?
No, I ended
No.
up going to a tournament with my brother Ryan in Los Angeles
Oh.
back in 2004, in the fall of 2004, and it was an invitational tournament with I think there was 8 countries in total, and we ended up winning it. And then the U.S. Open was right after, and there were a group of guys from Australia whose club just got accepted into the Premier League.
Okay.
And I was lucky; I got on a roll and won the U.S. Open singles. So they invited me down to play for the winter. So I went and spent
Fabulous.
the winter in Australia and played
There
in
we
their
go.
Premier League.
Isn't that grand?
It was a good experience.
Yeah.
It was-
You'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, see, because you enjoyed it. Okay, what do we got here? She's got a... it's not a long end.
No,
It's not short.
not by any
It's
means,
more
no.
middle, I guess. And
And good bowl by Katrina.
Katrina's up there for almost jack high. She's a little in front. She wants that cat. Lori's what? Narrow. She's not getting it. Okay, she's got a backer.
So imagine there's a lot of emotion going through the players right now too. The last end, the 6 up going home.
Yeah.
So-
Cindy's team has been here before doing championships.
They have, yes.
And Katrina and Pat haven't bowled together that often. Katrina is Pat Kaufman's daughter.
Daughter, yes.
And Sandy and Jill are newcomers, and they just created their team this year. They haven't bowled together before, so this has been a good experience for them to get this far. This is just fab.
And Sandy has experience as well. She's been to the Canadians before.
She has.
So,
She has on other teams, yes.
and Jill was close
And
a
she's
couple
been
years
on
ago in the
triples
mixed
and
pairs.
fours, I think. I'm not sure if Sandy was there as a pair. I think it was triples or fours that she made it to the Canadians in. I could be wrong. But,
Good
and
bowl by
Pat's been to nationals.
Yes,
a
she's
number of
been for
times.
singles.
Singles
before.
then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and she did the indoors.
Yes, as well.
Yes. So Sandy and Katrina, no, that's not Sandy's bowl. That would be
Pat's bowl's
Pat's
on the
bowl.
right,
Okay.
and the teal one is Katrina's.
Katrina.
So, yep, good call by Jill.
Yep,
Sees the danger build up early, so
Yeah.
just get
It's
one
like
in the mix.
watching for what you call a nest there.
Yeah.
And you want to get your own in there to stop them from a big count. And she's going to push that one into it.
That helps. It
It
changes
helps.
the
It
angle.
helped.
The
Yeah.
jack's not going back to those ones right now.
That's true.
It's going to take at least 2 bowls to get the jack back there, and then it's going to be very hard to keep building the nest while you're trying to make that happen.
Make it happen, yeah, that's true. So Betty Robitaille's got one here. It's a little wide. She's coming into the
Into
nest.
cluster, yeah.
Okay, the cluster, yes. Jill still sees it. Still a danger. Come into here. She doesn't want them to have a big end. Which is good. It's the last end. They would only need 6 to tie, right?
Right. Yeah, they're lying 3. They don't need any more.
No. Sandy's going to come to it. There we go.
Yeah, well played. Perfect.
Well,
Perfect
she
mix.
didn't stay in front of it, but there is mixed up because it sent it back through now, so the teal one is in between them there.
Yeah, I don't see 6 right now the way it's set up.
No. Okay, Betty, what you want? She pushed that one back. Okay.
Now she's just going to take a look at the head, see if those 2 of theirs goes. If Midland pushes those 2 through and stays, what will the count be?
What
And
would
it still
it be?
won't be 6. I think
Won't
it would be
6.
5 at the most.
Okay.
So yeah, just play the head.
Oh, she didn't come over where she wanted her. A little narrow. Was good weight though,
Yeah, great weight for what she wanted.
for what she was asked to do, yeah. These guys are shaking hands. They must be finished, and the other one's cleared off, I guess.
Yeah, look, close game. So the winner of that game we'll see in the men's final momentarily.
Mm-hmm. They'll probably take how many minutes between? 15 to 20? Between games? A break?
Yeah, quick break to get out of the heat.
Cool off
Rest
and
up
rehydrate.
for the final.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like they're playing an extra end. Tied up after
they
12.
were tied. That's what happened. Okay.
So for Chad Berge's team, this is their 2nd extra end game in a row. They won their quarterfinal in an extra end.
In an extra end. Okay. Oh, look at that.
Well played.
Nice ball.
I think now they're just looking to finish strong, finish on a high note, cap off a good weekend. I don't think there's a 6 anywhere where they can get.
She's drawing that cold.
Great bowl to Jill.
Beauty. Probably 2, right?
Yeah.
Her chakra didn't work, so she's going to chalk, yeah. She wants her to come into it.
This could be the last bowl of the championship.
Didn't come into it at all.
Oh, and she's through, and they're shaking hands. So
Yeah, they're done.
Jill Calvert-Getz and her team from Hanover, Chesley, and Meaford are the 2025 Ontario Women's Forest Champions.
Right.
They are off to the Nationals Championships in Edmonton in August.
Correct, yes. Good thing you have all the details.
Yeah, they played a very solid game.
Yes.
They played very well down the line, which is important. Katrina's always reaching, not getting anything in their way, and then Pat made a few key shots, conversions at second,
Yes.
and then Sandy was steady and Jill was steady in the back end.
They were very steady, yes.
And congratulations to Cindy Higgins' team on another solid performance. They're contenders whatever championship they play in.
Yeah.
They're always in the mix.
So they have silver now today.
They do,
Of
yes.
the Forest, yeah. Ontario Silver Forest Champion.